Hey everyone, welcome back to SST with me, Paul. And I wanted to start off with Mike Hughes. This guy is sending a rocket, or wants to send his own rocket, his homemade rocket, into space to prove to us all that the Earth is indeed flat. Now, I know from some of the comments that we've had on this channel, some of the people watching this video strongly believe that the Earth is flat. And apparently the Flat Earth Association think that this is a good way to prove to us that the Earth is flat. There's a bit of a hitch in this, though. Mike Hughes did send a rocket into space. Here's the launch. This is from 2014. This is from his own YouTube channel. I'll put a link to it in the description so you can check out this full launch. I can't play it all, but this is the rocket taking off. And then it reaches its highest point, and then out comes a parachute, which all bits are flying off this rocket and everything. Here comes the parachute. The parachute is put out, and it's all torn. It's got loads of holes in it. And on his re-entry, well, I don't even think you can call this a re-entry. He got a couple of miles up. In this, it was around a 4-minute flight. On his re-entry to the ground from probably about as high as a bird flies, he crashes. The guy ends up in hospital, and then in 2017 reappears with a new theory. There's his crash right there. Boom. Comes with this new theory that the Earth is flat, and he gets funding from people that believe that the Earth is flat, and now he's going to go up in a rocket. That was meant to take place this weekend, this Thanksgiving weekend in the US, and he wasn't allowed. The authorities stopped the launch because it was going to go over a town, and he didn't get the permission for the launch, so he wasn't able to do that. Now, for me, if I believed in flat Earth, there would be a very simple way of proving to myself that my theory was correct. Just recently, young schoolboys and girls sent a teddy bear to space, and you're seeing it right here on your screen right now. And we can see very, very clearly from this picture that the Earth has a curve. Now, I didn't send this teddy bear to space, so I can't really guarantee to you guys that this is indeed the picture of the teddy bear that they sent up into space. But for me, this seems a really cool way of deciding whether the Earth is flat or not. And they used the simple system of balloons, which got them about 10 or 15 miles into the atmosphere. And here's a news story from Kent Online, which is talking about these pupils at King's School, and they sent this teddy bear 100,000 feet into space, and it was a great project, and they were given permission from the Civil Aviation Authority to do this. And there we have a great picture of this bear in space, and he was tied to a large helium-filled weather balloon, and he was just simply launched from the school's playing field. And the whole journey was recorded on a GoPro camera. He survived the landing, as did Mike Hughes, in better shape than Mike Hughes, and they had a GPS tag on him, and a couple were sat out on the deck, and they saw this thing coming to Earth, and they went to find it, and then they called the school, who then recovered this teddy bear, and it was a wonderful science project, nearly 20 miles up, a lot higher than Mike's rocket, a very budget and cost-effective way to actually conduct this experiment. They, of course, weren't doing this to check out if the Earth was flat, though. This was a science project. and they're aged between 8 and 13. And I think this is a wonderful way for our flat earth friends to independently launch a camera into space using a helium balloon, which is extremely cost effective, and show us the pictures that would prove that we live on a flat earth. I don't buy it at all, not one bit. I don't understand why we would have been lied to that this is a flat earth. One thing I can tell you is that when I look at the stars and the moon and the other planets in our solar system, you can very clearly see with your own home telescope that the other planets around us are indeed round. So I got to say, I think that this theory is probably one of the strangest theories that I've ever heard on the internet, that we live on a flat earth, and there is just overwhelming evidence that that isn't the case. And of course, some people can argue almost anything. One thing is for sure is that our earth is flat, and the arguments don't hold water to science that you can easily conduct at home yourself or in a school play yard. So I would say to these people that are funding this rocket, and again, I'll tell you that Mike was not interested in this flat earth in 2014, where he launched that rocket from. And he has received funding now from these people that believe in flat earth to actually take his rocket to space. And I think that he dubbed himself the kind of modern day Evel Knievel in terms of taking the risk, because he's going to send himself with his rocket. And I think that some people just like to thrill seek. I think it's a great project. If you want to send a homemade rocket up into space, then that's great. But I feel like there's some kind of exploitation taking place of people here, when you can simply prove yourself from your own home that the earth is round. And I really wanted to cover this because that's my belief. And I'm really interested to hear from you guys that just swear that the earth is flat, because I live near the Rocky Mountains in Canada, and there is nothing flat about them. And you can go up to the top of those Rockies and you can see the curvature of the earth. With my own eyes, I see the curvature of the earth. So, Mike, strap on a weather balloon and take yourself up into space that way. I just don't see why you should be risking your life, because there's so many easier ways to see if the earth is flat or if it's round. What do you guys think to this? I'm really interested. I'm going to go on to a couple of interesting UFO sightings, or at least one very interesting UFO sighting now. Okay, so I was looking around, having a check on UFO sightings, and there's been a lot this week, but nothing too clear. However, when I was browsing, I stumbled across this article that was from The Sun in the UK, which is a newspaper there. It's a top selling newspaper online, and they had this video of a UFO above Fastlane nuclear submarine base. This is where the UK have their nuclear submarines housed when they're in for maintenance, or they're doing a crew change or something like that. And this video shows from the Sun that they've posted. I can't find the video elsewhere, so I'm using the Sun. This shows this light above the submarine base. Now, what's interesting about this is that this is a classified area where the airspace is heavily restricted. And you would expect that if somebody was flying a drone or doing something over this base, that they would be in a lot of trouble for doing that. And even the ex minister that looked into UFOs from the UK, dubbed the Mulder and of the UFO scene in the UK, he said that this is significant footage right here. For me, the video footage doesn't show a lot, but bear this in mind. This guy took this video from around 3 miles away from the base because, again, this area is heavily restricted. So this video was from about 3 miles away. So that craft or whatever this is actually significant in size, as you can see from the video here. So this is a really interesting story in terms of its restricted airspace. It's a highly classified area that the British Army or Navy use this area for their activities. And it's at night time, so if you're going to fly a drone over the base, I'm guessing that you would fly it in the day rather than at night. Who knows? Maybe this is some kind of military aircraft, a helicopter, or something like that. But I just thought that it was interesting because there has been a lot of activity over nuclear installations, and this is certainly a story of some significance when it comes to that. But again, it's really just a very bizarre sighting. I wanted to show you this because of it being over that nuclear base. What do you think to that UFO? Is that strange, or is that something that the MOD have got there, a craft of some description? But there we go. So that pretty much wraps everything up today. I've had two really good viewer submitted videos that I'm going to be going over today of UFOs. One uh, in the Gulf, in Gulf Breeze, and a lot of activity coming from there. That came from Lee. So just a shout out to Lee there in Gulf Breeze, Florida. He saw a UFO yesterday at around 10 p.m. In fact, let's throw this up on the screen here right now, and so you guys can have a look at it before I go, because I think that it's a quite a significant video. So here we go. Here is Lee's video from Gulf Breeze.
My hand's going to sleep. I'm gonna lay it on the bed again. That's my house. Right there.
All right, what do you guys think that is? So this was late at night, Lee reports. I asked him a couple of questions on this sighting. So I asked him, first of all, does he see many in there, many in the area, because it is a hotbed of activity. And he reported to me that he saw one in October, didn't get a good video, and it was nothing like this one. And last night he went to get the trash can from the curb, and he saw it. So he took his phone out, took a couple of minutes video of it, and went to put in a bag in his can, and went back out, took a second video of it, and there was a few stars, but from where he was looking above the beach road area, it was really strange, and the lights around it were not there in the first video that he sent, but he has a second video which there was 7 or 8. So this isn't far from where Elvis lived, and they saw a few things back when he was a kid, and this is really what I guess sparked his interest in this UFO phenomena. But I'm going to have a good look into this video and the other video that he sent me, and I'll get that up there as soon as I've gone through this. And then I have another video from David from his security cam footage. So keep sending these videos in to me, guys. I do really appreciate it, because this is stuff that just isn't anywhere else. And only being reported here on Shed Show Talk. Again, guys, thanks for watching the video to the end. Let me know what you think about this whole flat Earth thing, and I just can't buy it. I mean, if I was the slightest bit interested in disproving it, I'd do a weather balloon. I think it's interesting that people are looking at everything, so I kind of applaud it from that angle. But I'm kind of scared. There's so many other things that we should be concentrating on as a human race. I'd like to see the private funding from you guys out there that are putting money into this flat Earth to going into looking more at free energy, and also the UFO phenomena, that if disclosed to the world will definitely bring about a change in humanity. And that for me is a great cause. So again, guys, we'll be catching you soon. This is Paul from SST signing off. Stay safe, keep your eyes to the sky, and keep sending me in those videos of UFOs that you're seeing in your neighborhood. Friends of the internet, thank you for watching our video to the end. Please support us by hitting subscribe. To be notified when we make new videos, hit this bell at the top of YouTube. You will hear this noise and get to see every video we publish.